Over the past 6 years, Trackmania has undergone a lot of changes. The game we play now is very different to how it was when it released. In that time, there's been changes to ice physics, to boosters, to bobsleigh, to water, and to wood. And that's just to mention a few. So, it's no wonder that this has left behind a lot of impossible author times and broken tracks. The way some games deal with this is that the version you build the track on is the version it is played on. And some games like Minecraft even let you downgrade to a previous version to play the thing that you're supposed to play with what was available at the time. That does not work in Trackmania. And so with the current project of trying to beat all the author times in the game, this has left a lot of maps in an awkward spot where they would have been possible if we could somehow go back in time. And it just so happens that we can. You see, recently I discovered that I still have a download of the ancient and now disabled Chinese Trackmania server. This was a project that Ubisoft Nadeo tried to launch in 2020 and shortly after realized that the player base just wasn't there, and so they disabled the game. And so it is still possible to play some of these maps with the original physics by booting them in offline mode in the Chinese client. And that's what we're going to be doing today, to see if we could finally knock some maps off the list that have been unbeaten since the beginning of the game, due to different physics changes. Pretty interesting. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so this is currently the oldest unbeaten author time, if you count broken maps. This one, all the top records are from 5 years ago, and it says 6 years ago, but it's still not quite there. So this is in the current physics, 2026. If I try to drive this, and go a little bit out to the side and flip into the finish. Okay, that's a 5:16, but I'm sure we can do a bit better. The author time is a 5072. 5072. So I'm missing 700ths in a straight line. And I suspect ice and boosters is the culprit here and will be the culprit on a lot of tracks. Yeah, I think this is something we gotta investigate on the China server. Alright guys, let's see now. It's the same exact track, but you'll notice the writing is in Chinese and that I don't have a car skin. I'm gonna drive one jump into the finish, just to get us a baseline. 508 immediately. A time that nobody has been able to do for 5 years. 5085, so that's 100th away. But 1 full 100th is still pretty hard. Yeah, the world record on the public leaderboards is 3000th away. Okay, now I'm 8,000ths away. It's about getting as low as possible, while as you see I'm traveling a bit diagonally now, so we need to get a very straight line. And you know, I should also mention that, like, please don't do this, guys. Like, I don't think Nadeo likes us playing on old builds, even though it is a bit of a shame that this is the only way to prove that certain author times are possible. I want to do it for posterity and for helping the project, but let's all play on the same version when we compete on leaderboards. None of this is going to a leaderboard because the server's dead, so that's at least a good thing. We'll try this for a little bit, seeing as I'm one of the only people with access to the server still. I really have a duty now, I feel like, to pull through and actually get this done. Yeah, getting below 08 is really difficult, it seems. And there's no trick to, like, reach the booster sooner here, because you don't get the... Wait, is there? That looked faster. Yes, there's this trick of, on some maps, accelerating exactly when the timer hits 0. And typically it's got to do with reaching second gear sooner. Maybe it's placebo, though it looks faster here. 08 with that high of a jump has me believing, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But this was not known in 2020. There's no way this was known. What? With a brake tap? Could a brake tap be the solution? I'm coping with these different things. I feel like a brake tap before the red booster is not crazy. The point is something like you're slower, so it speeds you up more, and then you're faster. Very curious. I released as I touched the booster, and that was quicker. There is something going on here, guys. I do not know what this is, and it probably does not exist anymore, but... Huh? Okay, so I just beat the oldest author time in the game by releasing before a red booster. What? Okay, Apres Ski is officially done. Yeah, I do not understand that. Look, like if I press forward now, it's slower. by like a ton. Maybe it's related to what I thought though. Yeah, well, it kind of works. Okay, guys, that was the first map. Let's see what else we can find. This is why we do this. This is why we try this. Very cool. All right, guys, so this is the map with ID number 2407. The problem here, on a quick glance, seems to be that when I drive it now on the current version, I get a reactor booster. But the mapper intended for you to only get a red booster. So now there's only this remnant old record from Kiliku from 2020 showing what was supposed to happen. Let's travel to China and see if anything's different over there. The other one took way less time than I thought, so I've got my hopes up here too, but it all depends on the version, right? Like, ooh, that is already not at all promising. If this is October 2020 or even later that we have this version, and right now it's only prioritizing the reactor, this might still be impossible. Like, the game is not even noticing there's supposed to be a booster. I don't know what the replay might do different. It looks like he just drove, and at the time he did, it prioritized booster. Yeah, I dare say this one is impossible. I suppose what we could do here is we could say, look, it was supposed to be a red booster. Let me modify that in the map editor and drive the author time with the red booster only, right? I mean, since none of this is going on the leaderboard anyways, like, why don't we? This we could do. It's 951 to beat. And with red boost. Okay, it's still actually pretty hard. This might be a good challenge. On sand here, you want the car to wobble, and also driving on the exact ridge of the sand is faster than on the flats. I hope that makes sense. Like, air brake here, and then I think that's pretty good. 615. I think we hit at 9.7 there, so 600 is a Trackmania target to look after. Even finishing this map is very hard. You guys can also see something funny, by the way, in this version of Trackmania. Acceleration penalty was so powerful that if you crashed before a booster, like now it gave me 200, right? Whereas with full speed here, it gives 400. So acceleration penalty was really violent in the start. It was so punishing because you could drive and just barely touch a checkpoint like here. I just briefly graced it. And the game treats it as if you like slam into the wall. Oh. Guys, I'm actually struggling to even finish this map once. That is not an easy speed check. Oh. Oh, I'm an idiot. That was free. With the speed I had, I think this was free. Yeah, what was this? We don't have the copium timer to check, but I can assure you that was good. We will have the Ghosts of Play-ins now, though, to see how we compare to the God start. Oh, that's very good. Wow. I do not know where the speed came from, but that's the author time. If the booster would function as normal now. Of course it doesn't. I don't know if there's a way to force that, but I'd say we kinda got it. But yeah, let's go to the next map. Alright, so this is the next track, Elements Concept. Author time of 45.3. Seemingly normal looking map, but world record basically 0.8 slower. And you can see some really good players in here like Makrellen, Puwa, Momba, Spam, and Andy, all slower. And the reason is that bobsleigh has notoriously been changed many times. And whenever you're over about 200 speed on bobsleigh, in the past it used to accelerate you so fast. So let's pay attention to their speed into the loop here at the checkpoint 390 for Makrellen on that checkpoint, and around 430 through here. I think if we play this on the China server, we're gonna get up to probably plus 50 speed of what he has here. And if they can get this close on this version of the physics, it does not seem that hard to beat. But let's find out. Alright, Elements Concept. I'm very curious about this now. We saw that Makrellen had the most speed and he had 390, but the others I saw was 382 at the checkpoint, and I didn't see every record, but yeah. Through here, outside dirt. Oh, okay, I'm very slow now. And then on the bobsleigh, you had to smooth steer. It's not always 34%. It's depending on your speed. And I'm already faster than Makrellen on my discovery run. But here, guys, I have like 50 more speed as predicted. And now what? Oh, that's sharp. Okay. And let's just try our best to survive. Oh my. Okay, this turn is longer than I thought to. But it's just not fair. I think that's top 5 world. And it's again this thing of like, why was this map not hunted, you know? It would make our lives so much easier if just one good player stumbled across this back in the day. And now we've had pros hunting this for hours trying to beat this. Let's see if we can smooth steer. Okay, so we hold around 40 is what I'm trying. Minus 38. We get the booster here. And what's so powerful, I think, is that we get that booster while also having icy tires, which turns it into an ice booster in the game's ice, and yeah, it makes you very quick. Is this going to be a 2-shot off the time? That is crazy if I get it now. Oh, I barely missed it. Okay, yeah. Still need a 1/10 of a second. But if you didn't know, like, the boosters have different strength depending on what surface is underneath. Ice red booster is the most powerful one, and I think like grass boosters are very weak. We've even had campaigns where it has been beneficial to skip a grass booster. There's this Darkbringer record that comes to mind in, I mean, spring 2021 or something, which is curious. Maybe editors can dig that up. We are behind, but maybe a snipe angle here with a good end. Oh, I risked. It might have been enough. One more run should do it. I'm gonna try to snipe again. Set up wide and dive into the turn now and hope for the best. And the best happens. I think we get there. Yes, we do. I think we should compare this because you really do not get an appreciation for the physics changes until you see it side by side. Well, I think I'm going to be behind, and yeah, I'm driving sloppy lines. That's a poor landing before the drift. I've left behind maybe 2/10, something like that up to the checkpoint, and now speed boost. I even did a poor bobsleigh entry. Not getting it yet, but now icy tires on booster and zoom. Like, you just can't compete with that. Yeah, so here, look, he's driving better lines, but my ghost is already gone. It's so crazy. But technically, we beat another one of these maps, so that's a good thing. What does this one say? Pre-patch ice block bounce doesn't seem possible anymore. World record by Haku. Uh-oh. And oh, it's this trick. Yeah, I remember this from another khaki map too. The block edges used to bounce you in such a funny way when Trackmania released, especially I think ice blocks. Probably gonna be able to do this one, but let's see. Now we're gonna try to do some nose bugs in China, something I never thought I'd be doing, but let's try. This map is built by Dragon PNTM, so we know it's a legitimate author time. Dragon PN is, if you guys don't know, is the guy who found the dragon yeet, the jump outside the stadium. So, this nose bug. Okay, we got one. And then air brake. And then you need 200, well, more than 251. I think this is one of those nose bugs that you need to be like quite forwards leaning to activate. Oh. Don't tell me I just got it. No, they don't need to tell me that because I did not, but wow. Yeah, quite forwards. It's like if you try now, it doesn't work. But if you're a little bit forwards, because you're displaced, it will work. Like, now. Yeah. But it seemed like I had a pretty slow one, no? There's a lot up and not that much forwards that I got. If I do this, I'm closer to the loop, so... But okay, I crash it, maybe more often. Just a tiny bit like that though, like right, left. I feel like I'm gonna be less consistent. Let's try with press forward first. See how hard this is on its own. But wow, this gives me so many memories of the first khaki in the game. Just this bounce. I found it odd back then too, because the car like kind of jitters and then whoop, it's like you clip into the block or something. So they also changed this interaction afterwards. It worked for a while, but then yeah, and they got rid of it. Oh. 1296 and a first finish. 12:58 author time. I'm missing 0.4. Alright guys, it's been 20 minutes on this map. I feel like I have all the necessary knowledge, but we're just kind of at the mercy of this bounce right now. Takes a while to get each nose bug good, so the time will quickly rack up here, I feel like. 1286. Alright. Now it's only 0.3 still. Same as earlier. Not really much closer. Yeah. Even with the time machine we have, this map ain't easy, guys. Oh, please, please, please. That's so fast. Yes! Oh my god, this took forever, guys. 50 minutes. I wasn't even sure if I could get it because I was just mindlessly driving and trying to replicate the bounce, but when I saw the speed gain against my ghost there, I saw a light of hope in the darkness, and that is another theoretically impossible author time beaten with the time machine. Incredible. Very happy about that, yeah. We can't compare to Haku, that is like the closest ghost we have. But I think this right tap in the start might have actually been the difference maker. Alright, let's take a look at the comparison to Haku. I think we're gonna put the camera on Haku since I assume they're gonna have the slower start, but let's find out. So let's press forward into the thing, and yeah, I've gained about a car length. They also get a really good bounce here, so really, the only difference was in the start and maybe slightly better landing for me. This was necessary. Cool. Let's now see if we can find some more normal maps, because that was a lot of khaki lunatic for one day. Alright guys, so I've made my way over to the Unbeaten Author Time website because we can see it a little bit cleaner, and look at this, we've beaten the first 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, all done. Neo Slide Reloaded, this has been beaten, and it's a plug-in author time anyway. So the next is Sportix XD12. Broken press forward setup, impossible unless some kind of low input shred is found. I don't think we need that, but we can quickly check out what happens when you press forward. If you press forward here, is it supposed to give you a clean flight? It's also no steer. It just keeps rotating. But what's really changed here though? I'm guessing this is gonna work every time. You can see I'm very much struggling to get a flat reactor flight here. Alright, let's try it on China, see what happens. Author time to beat is 1641. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and it's so it's reactor up, but it's like perfectly balancing the car in the air. Like it's not rotating anywhere. That's actually a very nice start for the time it was built. And then you have to fly and get this one. Nope, 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 that's not it. Yeah, I bet some Rocket League pros would insta get this. It's like one of those training packs. Okay, so we get this one, and oh, that's actually kind of hard. No, I can see that the angle, if you're more sideways, yeah, you kind of let it fall, the angle exists. Okay. No, that was under with 16.3 already. I just had to steer more up. Okay, it's bronze, and it's a good run to compare against. So you are very limited here, but how about this? How about that? Not too hard. Not my best. Could definitely do a 15, but all that matters is getting these impossible maps out of the way, and the flight to the finish a bit passive, but it works. Cool. Another one done. Let's see what more we can find. Alright guys, this next one would be very satisfying to get because it's called Impossible Author Time, and we know that can't be true. It's ID number 20,000. If you don't know, there's 300,000 maps now, so very early on. The records are all from 2021, and I believe it's got to do with what we can see in the picture here, which is booster into bobsleigh. That's gonna have that icy speed effect again that was not patched out of the game, so yeah, we'll see if that is the case. Alright, we're booting straight up. Let me start the green timer, and then let's see what we have here. Apart from the bobsleigh, curious if there's anything else that's really precise. Fegir is a good tech player, so we are seeing some tech, and oh my. Okay, I'm gonna release. And then, yep, and now what? Oh, that is such a thin wall ride also. But okay, and oh yeah, I'm not making that. It reminds me of Deep Dip 1 a bit, floor 6 with the bobsleigh on the green. And okay, I would guess that with current physics is basically not a possible jump. I get a bit extra speed from the moment where I touch the bobsleigh and the booster at the same time down here. So right now, exactly on the block transition is where you get a speed up. The author time was a 31.0? Yeah, 31.0 and world record 31.5. Okay. Half a second better than anyone could do. I think you can drift here and then try to like cancel the drift up the hill. This drift I kind of want to keep going so that I can start a new one here. And this, I think with a good line of full speed. Neo slide. And then... is that enough? Oh. Okay, it's PB. 34.10 with a crash with old acceleration penalty. It's already quite close. Don't clip. Yeah. Now. Okay, that is world record 31.4. But missing 3500ths or so to beat author time. Oh, that we can find, surely. This was a pretty scuffed start now. I had to release. Yeah. Sun. Oh, did I drop the gear? Doesn't matter. Nice, in 4 minutes. I mean, people have probably tried this for hours and hours, but you're given 4 minutes on the old physics, and you can take out an author medal that is now completely impossible in the game. So, another map done. Let's keep it going and see how many we can get. That author time felt suspiciously easy. Fegir is a good player, and several good players had played the track at the time it was correct physics, and still not beaten the author medal. So it felt weird that I would be able to get it within 5 minutes, and really feeling like there was a lot more possible. I realized much later on why that was, and it is because I'd made a huge mistake. When importing the track into the China server, several of the Nadeo official items, like pillars, had been removed. And there was a huge wall of pillars in one drift that I basically just drove straight through, since they didn't load for me. Now that felt very cheap, so I wanted to do it correctly by manually placing the pillars back on the track as best as I could, and driving a line through the drift similarly. But with those changes, the author time was a lot harder, and I ended up having to spend several hours trying to replicate the time that I'd been able to get without the pillars. I only needed to go under a 31.05, and I got numerous runs that were really close to that mark before finally getting this run. Please. Yes. Finally. Okay. So, I corrected my mistake, And we beat another author time, I think. We're gonna add the replay to the normal game to check that I'm not driving through any pillars, but yeah, that should be impossible author time beaten. So let's see. Don't tell me. No. No, please. Please, bro. Oh, that would have been a crash. That's a crash. Gotta do it again. And so yeah, I had to do it all over again. I had to micro adjust the pillars to make sure that I wouldn't crash them again. And I actually made the pillars harder to drive around on my version. I made them wider to make sure that I had a good margin of error when it came to dodging the official pillars. And after a bit more hunting, I finally got this run. Yes, finally. This has to be good. It's the same exact time, I think, but I'm pretty sure this avoids the crashes, and finally, we might have this one done now. This took so long. Let's check though. Alright, come on. Please. Yeah, okay, finally. It dodged all the pillars. That's really good. That is technically another impossible author time beaten, although I had to manually place pillars and drive the map in the map editor, so make of that what you will. I think we can still count it, but for now, let's go to the next map. Let's try another one. Let's try this one, the Drefar challenge. It's his first ice map, so we're gonna have ice. We're gonna have ice, guys. Let's see how ice handles now with the old physics. It says ice plus full speed in the author comment. I've kind of stopped checking checking more than just, oh, if it's on the impossible lists. Stop checking why it's there. Just trust that the people marked it correctly. But this is old ice, guys, and I remember a few things here. I remember that, like, for these bowls, for example, there are certain exits you can do that are... Oh, that's an ice booster. Oh, okay. Well, that's gonna be a huge part in why this was no longer possible. Where are we going now? Quite bad visibility here. Is it just a straight line? I mean, if you're thinking about a map that, like, a map designed for something to be impossible after they changed the power of ice boosters, you really cannot make a worse layout than this. Like, here you have ice booster, which is more powerful, into straight line. But yeah, with these walls, I remember that you just want to kind of press forward, don't really steer. And that if you were ice sliding in them, you can just let go of steering, which no longer works. Does this still have a brake? Wait, can I not? I think that's faster. What is third gear? We will see in the comparison. Set up high here, and then dive down icy tires. Gives me a lot of steering. And then I feel like I'm late here, but let's see. What? This has got to be possible on the new version too, no? The moment I stop checking why, I find a map where I'm perplexed if this doesn't work on main game. Okay. Huh? Oh, there was a wall. I see there was a wall that didn't load in that I just drove right through. Okay, well that makes a bit of sense. And here's the ghost, by the way. Oh, there's two walls. Okay, now it's starting to make some sense. I did find those shortcuts to be a little obvious, yeah. I was thinking, how could they be left so out in the open? So I'm 0.7 down, and after this it's about to be a whole lot more. 30 minutes not that far. Oh, the car glides so fast on all ice, look at that. And then it just extends. It's kind of disgusting. Yeah, 1.3 seconds. You gain a bit back in the end. 1.5. Alright guys, 36.5 I think is a bit difficult, but knowing now that there are these fences, I do actually want to go back and do it properly without driving through non-existent textures. Okay, so we have to respect the track limits here. It looks like we can just cut across, but okay, we got 4th gear. That's, I think, gonna make things easier. And then you just press forward on these. I remember this. It feels so strange, but look at the speed. I'm faster than on the other one. Get a bunch of speed here. 500. Stay low, I guess. Oh, I'm getting something very wide. Okay, don't throw. Oh, this is a bit of a throw. You know, okay. Actually a bit harder now. That's a very good run until the loop incident. 4th gear, okay. This should be good. I keep trying to play ice like I do on Trackmania 2020 now. It's less brake taps, I remember back in the day. You just press left and right. Whereas on ice, you typically brake tap now to set up sideways. Because it's faster rotation. Okay. That is the author time done properly. I believe I dodged all obstacles. We'll have a look at the video assisted referee here. But yeah, impossible that I'm close enough to hit any pillars here, I think. So that is going to count. All right, let's see if we can find one more or something. We are past the point of where my Trackmania client actually is from. So this is like playing maps in the future of this client, but icy boosters had not yet changed at the time of this map, I think. So therefore we can use these to go very fast to the finish. It's a literal one shot. And the author ghost would have been driven in much the same way, I think. You can try to improve that. One more time, just slightly smoother in the start. Oh wow. No. Something I did with the steering was actually very good. Like a proto ice wiggle or something. Not sure. That was a literal one shot though. Cool. Let's go next. Alright guys, I've found another 2 maps. We'll do this one and one more, and that'll be the last for this video. This is ice. And I think it's mostly impossible because of this booster. Yeah, it's just the worst combination ever. Platform into icy booster just is so fast. Before summer 2021 is when they changed that. That maybe, and okay. I have a good feeling about this. I really don't think this is that hard, and maybe I'm repeating myself a lot of times, but you have to ask yourself, guys. There's no way that all these maps, unbeaten for years, can just be done in 3 minutes each, you know? It's not a lack of trying on the note of the players, it's literally just the stupid physics changes that prevented players from beating these, so try my best now to do the team a solid and just get them out of the way. But kudos to those who, you know, have tried without original physics, because yeah, it's not supposed to be this easy. I gotta remind people it's not supposed to be this easy. So yeah, it's just this booster, super powerful, carries the speed all throughout the map. One last one then. Alright, so the last map, guys, is called lull number 4. The world record is about 0.2 away from the author time. This, I think, is just because of bobsleigh. Bobsleigh changes with smooth steering. Because on the picture, yeah, it's just a straight, well, you need a bit of speed, but straight line to the ending. So if I now smooth steer with analog key, 352, I'm guessing you can get like 360 speed. And maybe you have to do like a drive on the wall thing or something in the end. 362, wow, okay. And let's try to drive on the wall. Alright, okay. Yeah, I mean, people have tried this one a lot. Look, 2 months ago, 3 years ago, 2 months ago, they're getting pretty close, but I'm guessing they're just missing speed in the bobsleigh downhill. I can try as well on the original to see what is really going on. Alright. Let's see what the difference is. There's the author actually. And now I'm only getting 346 speed. There's actually some pillars here too, I just noticed. That's 1315. There's some pillars here that are not there on the original. But yeah, it's just bobsleigh speed. Okay, that's my best start yet. Can I not get a zoop there? That's like 12.8 pace. I think I can, right? If this is my best start. With a very good end. It basically matches the current world record on the track, and still 0.2 to go is a brutal ask. It would have to be a very early zoop. Maybe one of you guys can figure it out if you want to get it on the leaderboards, but right now I don't see it. So we will be happy having beaten it in China. But guys, cool video, no? Let me know if you have any ideas for more things we could do with the China client. If there's more things you're interested in seeing from the olden days of Trackmania. Thank you all so much for watching this longer but special video. I appreciate it, and there is more content coming out about the China server soon, so subscribe if you want to see that. Anyway, thank you guys, bye bye for now, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.